Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. A couple of days ago, we talked about wisdom and how it's not oftentimes the fact that we don't have wisdom, but that we don't follow wisdom because of our desires. And today in our reading, we have a perfect example of that. As we get into Genesis chapter 13, we have an instance where Abram and Lot have to part ways. Both of them had become very wealthy. There wasn't enough land for both of them to dwell in, and they had to split ways. And Abram tells him, if you go to the right, I'll go to the left. If you go to the left, I'll go to the right. And Lot chooses the land of Sodom. And he chooses the land because it is fertile, because it was beautiful, because it was rich with enough sustenance for the livestock. And that's the choice that he made. And the one thing that he didn't consider was the moral situation of the area. It ends up that area was very, very corrupt, especially in Sodom and Gomorrah. And this causes great repercussions for Lot and for his descendants and for a multitude of people for thousands of years afterwards. Lot goes down into Sodom, and immediately in our text we find this great war taking place in chapter 14 with all these different kings, and Lot ends up getting taken captive in war with all of his possessions and his family. Abram has to come and rescue Lot and take him out of that situation. But we're going to find out soon also that Sodom and Gomorrah end up being destroyed, and Lot ends up losing all of his possessions. He loses his wife, and then ultimately he commits incest with his daughters, who have children who become the ancestors of the Moabites and the Ammonites, who become the enemies of Israel. And so they become really a thorn in the flesh of Israel for centuries upon centuries. And so all of this came from one decision: either go to the right or go to the left. And he made the decision to go down into a land that was, yes, rich, that would fulfill his desires, but was not the right, ultimately the right wise choice to take. And this just shows how important our decisions are. As we think about following wisdom, it's not just so that, things will turn out a little bit better at the end, or maybe we'll end up with a little bit more money or better off financially in the long run, or, a few things like that. There are times when we make decisions that have repercussions that will affect the rest of our lives, could affect our children's lives, it could affect future generations, many generations to come, all because of maybe just one decision that we made that was based upon our own desires and not in accordance to wisdom. And so our reading today really brings to light that truth that our decisions do matter. And it's important for us to bring all of our decisions before the Lord, to line everything up to God's word, but also bring everything in prayer to God, and to help him, or to lean on him to help us to make the right decisions, to understand that he sees the path down the road, often in a way that we can't see. And if we're just following our desires, if we're just following after what will bring about immediate gratification, it could have really bad consequences. And so as we do our reading today, not only in Genesis, but also in Proverbs, where there is this call to follow wisdom, let's take all these things to heart and really begin today to think about the decisions that we make, to thoroughly consider them, to bring them before God, and to hold them up in light of God's word. So that's our encouragement today. And with that, I do thank you guys for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.